Morning brief for the U.S. stock market and a snapshot of what's coming up for the weekly update. We're processing it now. It's September 24th, 8:34 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'm Rich Positive for Critical Point. Okay, for the S&P 500 as a proxy for the entire stock market, the model's saying the market rallied yesterday as we expected. Not necessarily how high in price and how strong it would be, but we just thought it would be an update into a level 4 top. That level 4 top was supposedly was going to occur no earlier than 12 p.m. Central Time, and lo and behold, on a 3-hour chart, it topped on that bar starting 12 p.m. and later, okay? And it looks like the trend is down. The trend can be down into Monday or down into Sunday night. It's unlikely to bottom today. However, I'm not convinced this is going to be a non-stop decline today. It may be, okay? But I'm thinking we've got a level 5 intraday kind of thing going on here that's going to bottom this morning, recover somewhat today, and then maybe down again Sunday night, perhaps into Monday morning. By Tuesday, stock market should be back up. So that's your level 4 swings. Downside support for this level 4 swing can be the resistance we used over the prior 2 days here, 4405 to 4391 for the S&P 500 December futures. You want to add, 10 points, 11 points premium to that to come up with a cash level, or you may be able to look at your charts and figure that out. The intraday chart for the 3-hour chart is actually, intraday indicators are actually more oversold than not. I think that suggests, yes, they'll buy some a little later today. Just don't know, will they buy immediately or they're going to buy at first. I think this is just a retracement type of move, because if we go to the daily chart, what we have is that, yes, it's due for a pullback now. Support could be as low as the 5-day average around 43.85 or so. That's a live average. It's moving around. I don't think we'll see any larger retracement. I don't think it's going to be that large. I think this is just a setback. I think the level 3 trend is up as we said it would be if it violated the Tuesday high, September 21st high. And it did. And the critical point then generated upside objectives of 44.73 to 44.94. I think the market's going there by next week. I think it could stay up into early the following week, but I think next week might be an up week, actually, or at least for a few days anyways. Then we'll see a level 3 pullback, then another level 3 rally, another level 3 pullback. So there's going to be some kind of bottom a couple weeks from now, another bottom like 4 weeks from now. I suppose there's something could go wrong that October is a down month or sideways. And I show that in the weekly update. But the best forecast is those overall fluctuations I just gave you are going to have an upward bias into November. I believe the level 2 trend is up into November. We'll pull back into a level 1 bottom November, December. We'll be up into January, February. And that's going to make a level 1 trend that's basically up all the way into the first quarter of next year. And then in the weekly update, I tell you what I anticipate for some of the minor long-term fluctuation next year. Then how does that relate to mid-size and major long-term fluctuation for this decade? I talk about super cycles, a potential super cycle bear market into this decade. So I give all that stuff. And if you don't want to hear that stuff, just follow the sequence. I start out very short term, walk you all the way into the start of next year, and that's when you can stop listening. If you want the outside markets, however, they come in at the very end when I discuss crude oil, which I'm still looking for a level 2 top in crude oil. Still think we got a long-term rolling over. Bitcoin, looking for a level 2 bottom in Bitcoin, but I'm not that comfortable, and it better stay above this year's low, or it might be in a major long-term bear market or a long-term bear market. And this dollar probably topping for a level 1 or 2, I forget now, due for a bottom in a few weeks. I think it's range trade and for a very long time. Then looking at gold, it is coming down. I don't think the gold market sees any economic inflation risk here. I don't think it's coming down because it thinks there's disinflation or deflation economic risk here. I think it's just coming down under its own trading that there's just not enough demand and excitement for gold, and it probably doesn't like the interest rates moving up here this week, according to the bond market, okay? Gold needs to not violate the low of this year anytime now through next year. Kind of similar to what I'm looking at for Bitcoin for some strange reason. or otherwise it'll be in a major long-term bear market, but that may not mean a lot of downside. It just may mean it can't move up much. Interest rates basically moving up, bond market's moving down. I don't think we got a major move coming higher interest rates. I think it's a vote that the bond market does not see economic risks, economic problems, does not see deflation. It sees inflation staying, but it does not see inflation being that bad or a negative or going all that high, okay? I think it's basically a vote for a good economy and a vote that China probably won't become a contagion for the global economy and the U.S. economy and therefore markets. We could be wrong on that. All right, what else do we have for you? That's about it. That's a wrap up here. Don't be surprised, little setback going into Monday here, but I think it could be broken up. They might buy later in the afternoon. Don't be surprised that the market rallies for the next week, week and a half. Then a little more important setback. Don't be surprised it rallies into November. I think it looks really good. I explain alternate forecasts, complications, and problems. But it looks like to me we're on track for long-term bull market for several years yet to come. I think there's lots of upside still in this bull market. I think the money printing's there, even though tapering will cut back on some of that. We really want tapering to occur by the Fed as a sign this economy is sustainable and everything's on track for our long-term forecast. All right, past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. At any rate, don't be surprised they knock this market back a little bit into Monday, but ultimately I'm expecting higher prices next week. I think we're going to have record highs in October going on into that November top. Thank you.